All right, so today we're going way back in time,
Back in time.
way back to the Old Testament.
Okay.
We're going to take a deep dive into the book of Exodus
Right.
and see what it can teach us about building success.
I like it.
Even today,
All right.
we're talking about the construction of the Tabernacle,
Okay.
which was kind of like their mobile headquarters
Yeah.
for the Israelites,
Right.
like a place to connect with the divine, who knew an ancient pop-up sanctuary, could hold the secrets to project management and teamwork.
Well, it's funny.
Right.
We often look to like Silicon Valley or Wall Street for these kind of lessons.
Yeah.
But ancient cultures had their own methods for tackling complex projects.
That's right.
And their methods are surprisingly relevant
Yeah.
even now.
Okay, so for those who haven't brushed up on their Exodus lately,
Yeah.
can you give us a quick recap of what this tabernacle was all about?
Imagine a society that is constantly on the move, and their most sacred space needs to be portable too.
Right.
That's the tabernacle.
Okay.
It wasn't just a tent. It was a symbol of God's presence amidst the Israelites.
Right.
A physical representation of their faith and community.
So it's not just about like bricks and mortar, or in this case, fabric and wood.
No.
It's about something deeper.
Deeper, yeah.
So where do we even begin to extract business lessons from this?
Well, the first thing that jumps out to me, at least, is how the Israelites rallied together to make this project happen.
Okay.
Exodus 35 kind of lays it all out.
Yeah.
People contributed whatever they could.
Right.
Gold, silver, yarn, wood, their skills.
Wow.
It was like a community-funded, ancient style.
That's a great point. It's like the ancient world's version of Kickstarter.
Right.
Where everyone chips in to make a shared vision a reality.
Think about the parallels to today's world.
Yeah.
A lot of successful ventures start with people pooling their resources and talents, whether it's a tech startup or a community garden.
Yeah.
Recognizing what you have and how to use it strategically, that's
huge.
That's business 101 right there.
Business 101.
Yeah.
So it's not just about having resources.
Right.
It's about knowing how to leverage them effectively.
Exactly.
But even with the best resources, you need someone to steer the ship, right?
Absolutely.
Like you need a leader.
And Exodus introduces us to these master craftsmen,
Okay.
Bezalel and Oholab.
Bezalel and Oholab.
They're not just skilled artisans.
Right.
They're appointed leaders of the entire operation.
Wow.
It highlights the critical role of leadership in any successful project, whether it's building a tabernacle or building a billion-dollar company.
And it makes you wonder if these guys had ancient versions of Gantt charts and project management software.
Maybe not.
Right.
But they definitely grasped the importance of organization and delegation.
Delegation.
Think of it this way. Okay. A conductor doesn't play every instrument in an orchestra, but leads a diverse group of musicians to create something harmonious.
Yeah.
Good leadership is about bringing out the best in each team member.
That's good.
And orchestrating their talents towards a shared goal.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Orchestrating their talents. Now, in the case of the tabernacle, the stakes were pretty high.
Yeah.
I mean, they were creating a space meant to symbolize the divine presence.
Absolutely.
So how did they ensure that everything went according to plan?
Well, Exodus emphasizes that the tabernacle was constructed precisely according to God's instructions.
Oh, wow.
Every detail, every measurement, every material, it was all meticulously laid out and followed to the letter.
So no pressure there.
It's interesting because it wasn't just about blind obedience. It was about a deep commitment to a higher purpose. In this case, honoring the divine and recognizing that every detail played a role in achieving that purpose.
So it wasn't just a set of rules.
Right.
It was a divine blueprint.
Exactly.
It makes you think about how we approach our own goals today.
Yeah.
Do we have that same level of clarity and commitment?
That's a great question.
Do we understand the why behind our actions?
The why, yeah. That's a great question for each of us to consider.
Yeah.
Do we see our own projects, our own businesses, our own lives as having a blueprint?
Right.
And how committed are we to following that blueprint even when things get challenging?
It's making me think about all those times I've tried to cut corners or wing it on a project.
Yeah.
And the results have been, well, less than divine.
Right. We've all been there.
Yeah.
But the tabernacle story seems to suggest that sometimes there's real value in embracing the process, even when it's demanding.
Right.
Especially when we believe in the why behind it.
That's good.
Yeah.
So we've got resources, we've got leadership, and we've got this blueprint.
We do.
This clear plan of action.
Right.
What else can we glean from the tabernacle's construction?
Well, Exodus also highlights the power of community engagement.
Okay.
It wasn't just Bezalel and Oholiab hammering away in isolation.
Right.
Everyone pitched in. Everyone felt a sense of ownership over this project.
So it was a true grassroots effort.
It was.
It wasn't just about skilled labor. It was about the entire community coming together to create something bigger than themselves.
And that's something that resonates deeply in today's world, too.
I think so.
Think about the most successful companies, the most impactful movements.
Yeah.
They often thrive because of a strong sense of community.
Yeah.
Where everyone feels invested in the mission.
Right.
And everyone contributes to the success.
Yeah.
Everyone.
So we've talked about mobilizing resources, having strong leadership, and following a clear plan.
Yep.
All within the context of a community that's fully engaged.
All connected.
Yeah. But there's something else about the tabernacle that's unique.
Okay.
It wasn't just a building. It was meant to be a sacred space.
That's a key point.
Right.
The tabernacle represented something much bigger than just a physical structure.
Yeah.
It symbolized God's presence, a space where the Israelites could connect with the divine.
So how do we translate that into a modern business context?
Yeah.
I mean, not all of us are building temples.
Yeah, of course not.
Right.
But the principle still applies.
Oh.
Creating a sacred space in a modern workplace doesn't necessarily mean incense and stained glass.
Okay.
It's about cultivating an environment where people feel respected.
I was going to say.
Valued and inspired.
I love that.
Yeah.
So it's about thinking beyond the physical space.
It is.
And focusing on the atmosphere.
Exactly.
A culture.
The culture, yeah.
It's about creating a space, whether it's physical or metaphorical.
Right.
Where people feel connected to something larger than themselves.
Exactly. It's about creating a work environment that aligns with a set of values, a sense of purpose that gives meaning to the work itself.
I like that.
And that kind of environment can be incredibly powerful, even in the secular world.
This is giving me a lot to think about.
I bet.
In terms of my own workspace.
Yeah.
So to recap, we've got resources, leadership, a blueprint, community engagement.
We do.
And this idea of creating a sacred space.
It's a lot.
That's a pretty solid foundation for building success, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And the beauty of it is that these principles are applicable across so many areas of life.
That's so true.
Not just in the business world.
Right.
They're about understanding what truly motivates us, what gives our work meaning, and how we can collaborate with others to achieve something extraordinary. But there's more to unpack here.
There always is.
Yeah.
Let's delve a little deeper into some of these concepts after a quick break.
Sounds good. You know, it's easy to get caught up
Yeah.
in the practicalities of the tabernacle's construction.
Right.
But I think there's a deeper layer here.
Yeah.
It's really worth exploring.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
We talked about how the Israelites followed God's instructions
Yeah.
to the letter.
To the letter, right?
No deviations, no cutting corners.
Right.
But what if we look at that
Okay.
not as like blind obedience,
Yeah.
but as an embodiment of commitment to a larger vision?
So instead of just ticking boxes on a to-do list,
Right.
they were driven by a deeper sense of purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They believed that following the blueprint meticulously was the key
Okay.
to creating a space truly worthy of the divine presence.
Right.
It's a powerful reminder that even in a modern context,
Okay.
understanding the why behind our actions
Yeah.
can fuel our commitment and attention to detail.
That's such a great point.
Yeah.
It's like the difference between going through the motions and truly pouring your heart and soul into something.
Right.
Because you believe in its significance.
Think about it.
Yeah.
You're working on a project and you hit a roadblock.
Okay.
If you're just focused on the task itself, it's easy to get discouraged.
Right.
But if you can connect that task back to the bigger picture, to the why that drives you, it can give you the resilience to push through those challenges.
It's like those marathon runners who hit the wall.
Yes.
But keep going because they're running for a cause greater than themselves.
Yep.
Their why fuels their every step.
Absolutely.
I like that.
And, you know, even with the divine instructions, I'm sure the Israelites faced unexpected issues.
Oh, for sure.
During the construction.
Of course.
But they persevered.
Right.
They used their skills and ingenuity to overcome those obstacles.
That's so important. Having a plan is crucial.
Yeah.
But being able to adapt and problem solve along the way is equally vital.
It is.
It's like having a roadmap, but being prepared to navigate detours and unexpected terrain.
And don't forget the role of the community.
Oh, right.
Remember, this wasn't just a solo effort.
Right.
They faced those challenges together, pooled their knowledge, and found solutions collectively.
That makes me think about all the times I've struggled with a problem in isolation.
Yeah.
When reaching out to others could have led to a much quicker and more creative solution.
It's amazing how much we can achieve when we tap into the collective wisdom of a group.
Right.
And that brings us back to the idea of creating a sacred space in our work.
Okay.
It's not just about the physical environment. It's about fostering a culture of collaboration, respect, and shared purpose.
So it's about creating a space, whether it's a physical office, a virtual team, or even just a mindset.
Right.
Where people feel safe to share their ideas, to support each other, and to work together to overcome obstacles.
Exactly. It's about building a community.
Yeah.
Where everyone feels valued and empowered to contribute their unique talents.
This reminds me of the time when I was working on a particularly challenging project. And I felt stuck, overwhelmed, and ready to give up.
Yeah.
But then I reached out to a colleague for advice.
Okay.
And their insights completely shifted my perspective.
That's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Sometimes all it takes is a fresh perspective.
For sure.
A different set of eyes to see a problem in a new light.
And it's not just about problem solving.
Right.
It's about celebrating successes together too, right?
Absolutely. Exodus describes the moment the tabernacle was completed.
Right.
And God's presence filled the space.
Right.
It was a time of immense joy and celebration for the entire community.
Wow.
They recognized the magnitude of what they had achieved together.
It's so easy to get caught up in the daily grind.
Yeah.
To rush on to the next task without pausing to acknowledge and appreciate the milestones along the way.
But taking time to celebrate, to recognize the collective effort is so important.
I think so.
It boosts morale, fosters a sense of accomplishment, and strengthens the bonds within a team.
So it's not just about reaching the destination.
Right.
It's about savoring the journey and celebrating the wins.
Exactly.
Big or small.
Whether it's a team lunch, a shout out in a meeting, or simply taking a moment to reflect on what's been accomplished. Celebrating successes reinforces the value of our efforts and motivates us to keep striving for excellence.
And speaking of striving for excellence,
let's
not forget that the tabernacle wasn't a static structure.
Right.
It was designed to be portable.
It was.
To move with the Israelites on their journey.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
The portability of the tabernacle is another layer of wisdom we can glean from this story.
It's such a fascinating concept.
It is.
Their most sacred space was literally designed to adapt to their changing circumstances.
It speaks to the importance of adaptability and flexibility qualities that are more relevant than ever in today's rapidly changing world.
It's like they understood that clinging to rigidity in a constantly evolving environment could lead to stagnation.
Yes.
Their faith, their connection to the divine wasn't confined to a fixed location.
Right.
But could move and adapt with them.
It's a powerful metaphor, isn't it?
It is.
And it challenges us to consider how we can embrace change, how we can remain adaptable in our own lives and careers.
This is making me think about all those times I've resisted change, clung to old ways of doing things. Even when it was clear that a new approach was needed.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
But the tabernacle reminds us that sometimes letting go of the familiar, embracing the unknown, can lead to incredible growth and new possibilities.
So instead of viewing change as a threat,
Right.
we can choose to see it as an opportunity to evolve, to learn, and to discover new strengths we didn't even know we had.
And it's not just about adapting to external circumstances. It's also about being willing to adapt our own mindsets, our approaches, our skills.
It's about having that growth mindset.
Yes.
That willingness to step outside our comfort zones and embrace the challenges that come with learning and evolving.
Absolutely. The Israelites' journey with the tabernacle wasn't always easy.
Right.
But it was through those challenges, through those moments of adaptation, that their faith and their community were strengthened.
We've covered so much ground today, from mobilizing resources to building community.
Yeah.
From following a blueprint to celebrating successes.
It's a lot.
And now this profound lesson about adaptability.
We have.
The story of the tabernacle is truly a treasure trove of wisdom.
It is.
And it's a beautiful reminder that sometimes the most profound lessons come from the most unexpected places.
It makes you wonder what other hidden gems of wisdom are out there just waiting to be discovered.
Right.
But before we wander too far off on that tangent,
Yeah.
I think there's one more crucial element from the Tabernacle story we need to unpack.
Oh, absolutely. And it's a concept that ties everything we've talked about together.
Okay.
It's the idea of creating a sacred space in our modern lives.
Okay, so this sacred space, you've mentioned it a few times now.
Uh-huh.
I'm really curious to explore what it means beyond the literal context, the tabernacle.
It's such a powerful concept, isn't it?
It is.
And it's something that resonates deeply with me.
Okay.
Because I think we all crave
that sense of connection to something larger than ourselves. Yes. Something that gives our lives meaning and purpose.
So it's not just about having a fancy office or a meditation corner in your home, right?
Exactly.
It's about something much deeper.
Much deeper,
Yeah.
It's about cultivating a space.
Okay.
Whether it's physical, mental, or even virtual, where you feel aligned with your values, your passions, and your sense of purpose. It's a space where you can tap into your creativity, your inspiration, and your truest self.
It's like finding that sweet spot.
Yeah.
Where your work, your passions, and your values all intersect.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And, it doesn't have to be a solitary pursuit.
Right.
Remember, the tabernacle was a communal space.
It was.
A place where people came together to connect with the divine and with each other.
So creating our own sacred spaces could also involve connecting with others.
Absolutely.
Who share our values, our passions, or our vision.
Yeah, connecting with like-minded people can be so powerful.
Right.
It could be joining a community group, collaborating with colleagues, or even just having those meaningful conversations with friends and family who inspire you.
It's like building a support system.
Right.
That nourishes your soul and helps you stay connected to your purpose.
It does.
Even when things get tough.
Even when things get tough, exactly.
And, creating a sacred space isn't a one-time event.
It's not.
It's an ongoing process of intentionality.
Yes.
Of consciously choosing to prioritize what truly matters to you.
It's about making choices.
Right.
About how you spend your time, your energy, and your attention.
So it's about designing a life that reflects your values.
It is.
And supports your well-being.
Yeah.
Both personally and professionally.
Both.
This reminds me of something you said earlier about adaptability. The Israelites had to adapt their sacred space, the tabernacle.
They did.
To their changing circumstances. Do you think that applies to our own sacred spaces as well?
I think the answer is absolutely yes. Life is constantly changing.
Yeah.
Our needs, our priorities, and even our sense of purpose may evolve over time.
So our sacred spaces need to be flexible enough.
They do.
To accommodate those changes.
Exactly. It's not about clinging to a rigid definition of what a sacred space should look like.
Right.
But about being open to adjusting and adapting as we grow and learn.
This is making me think about my own creative process. I used to think I needed a perfectly quiet, distraction-free environment to write.
Yeah.
But then I realized that sometimes inspiration strikes when I'm out in nature.
Oh, wow.
Surrounded by the sounds of birdsong or crashing waves.
That's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Our sacred spaces can be anywhere we feel connected, inspired, and aligned with our purpose.
So it's not about finding the perfect place or the perfect routine.
No.
It's about creating space in whatever form that takes for what truly nourishes us.
And, the beauty of it is that creating these sacred spaces can have a ripple effect.
Okay.
Not just on our own lives, but on the lives of those around us.
So by prioritizing our own well-being, by creating spaces where we can thrive, we also inspire others to do the same.
Imagine a world where everyone felt empowered to create their own sacred spaces.
Yeah.
To live and work in alignment with their values and their purpose.
That's a beautiful vision.
It is.
And it all started with this ancient story.
It did.
About a portable sanctuary in the desert.
It's amazing how these ancient tales can still speak to us so powerfully today.
They do.
Offering guidance and inspiration for navigating the complexities of modern life.
This has been such a thought-provoking deep dive.
It has.
We've journeyed from the practicalities of project management to the deeper meaning of purpose, from the power of community to the importance of creating sacred spaces in our lives.
And what I find so remarkable is that the lessons we've uncovered from the tabernacle's construction are not just relevant to building businesses or achieving goals.
Right.
They're relevant to building a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling.
So whether you're leading a team, pursuing a passion project, or simply seeking to live a more intentional life.
Right.
The wisdom we've gleaned from this ancient story can offer valuable insights and guidance.
It can.
Remember, the Israelites built the tabernacle as a physical manifestation of their faith, their values, and their connection to something larger than themselves.
They did?
What sacred spaces are you creating in your own life?
That's a great question for all of us to consider.
It is. And on that note, I want to thank you for joining us on this incredible journey.
Yes.
Through time and wisdom.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll be back next time to explore another fascinating topic and uncover more hidden gems of knowledge.
Looking forward to it.
Until then, keep exploring, keep creating, and keep building those sacred spaces that bring meaning and joy to your life.